The meeting she never knew about. Victor Kane did not leave Sterling Group immediately. Instead, he crossed the street and returned to the cafe where his coffee had long since gone cold. He sat in the same chair, the same corner, watching the building through the rain-speckled glass. Investigators learned early that information rarely arrived all at once. It came in fragments. A sentence overheard, a habit repeated, a face that appeared where it shouldn't. Patience usually solved what urgency never could. Victor had built an entire career on patience. He wasn't interested in catching people. He was interested in understanding them. Across the street, Solene continued her morning exactly as she had every day for the last 3 years. Nothing about her routine suggested fear. She laughed with the florist, helped an elderly visitor find the correct elevator, stopped to wipe rainwater from the marble entrance before anyone slipped. If she was hiding something, she was remarkably good at pretending life was ordinary. Victor wasn't convinced she was pretending at all. 40 floors above the lobby, Julian stood by his office window. The city stretched endlessly beyond the glass, but his attention never left the entrance below. Victor's words echoed in his thoughts. Don't let her leave this building alone. It sounded less like advice, more like a warning. His phone vibrated. Elaine Foster. I found something. Julian answered immediately. What is it? The intermediary who hired Victor. Julian straightened. You identified them? No, but I identified where the payment came from. She paused. It wasn't a corporation. Julian waited. It was a law firm. A law firm. One we've dealt with before. Julian's expression tightened. Which one? Elaine inhaled slowly. Harrison, Cole, and Whitmore. The name struck him immediately. Not because of the firm itself. Because 3 months earlier they had represented Marcus Whitfield. The same Marcus Whitfield who had nearly stolen his company. Julian said nothing. Elaine continued. I don't think that's a coincidence. Neither did he. That evening, Victor sat alone in a hotel room. His laptop displayed hundreds of pages from an investigation closed years earlier. One document refused to leave his mind. The witness statement. He opened it again. Halfway down the page appeared a sentence highlighted in yellow. Primary witness. Refused witness protection. Victor frowned. He read it twice, then a third time. Most people accepted protection, especially after exposing organized financial crime. Why had Solene refused? He searched deeper into the archived case. Another document surfaced. Interview notes. One sentence stopped him cold. Subject stated she would rather disappear than allow innocent people to suffer because of her. Victor slowly leaned back. That wasn't the statement of someone running from... He opened it again. Halfway down the page appeared a sentence highlighted in yellow. Primary witness. Refused witness protection. Victor frowned. He read it twice, then a third time. Most people accepted protection, especially after exposing organized financial crime. Why had Solene refused? He searched deeper into the archived case. Another document surfaced. Interview notes. One sentence stopped him cold. Subject stated she would rather disappear than allow innocent people to suffer because of her. Victor slowly leaned back. That wasn't the statement of someone running from justice. It sounded like someone protecting others. His instincts, sharpened by 20 years of investigations, whispered the same conclusion. He might be searching for the wrong person. The following morning began like every other. At precisely 6 o'clock, Solene entered the building carrying a small paper bag from the neighborhood bakery. She handed it to Frank, the elderly security guard. I remember today is your birthday. Frank looked genuinely surprised. You remembered? You told me 6 months ago. Inside the bag were 2 cinnamon rolls. Nothing expensive. Nothing extravagant. Just enough for breakfast. Frank smiled wider than Julian had ever seen. Thank you. She shrugged gently. Someone has to spoil you. Watching from the mezzanine level, Julian couldn't help smiling. The woman who had uncovered million-dollar frauds still remembered a security guard's birthday. There was something profoundly human about that, something success often forgot. As Solene pushed her cleaning cart toward the executive elevators, her phone vibrated quietly inside her pocket. She glanced at the screen. An unknown number. She almost ignored it. Something made her answer. Hello. The voice on the other end spoke only 6 words. 6 words that instantly drained the color from her face. We finally know where you are. The call disconnected. The phone slipped from her hand onto the polished marble floor. For several seconds she simply stood there, frozen. Across the lobby, Julian saw everything. He had never seen fear on Solene's face before. Not in the boardroom. Not during difficult conversations. Not even while reading the letter she had never expected anyone to see. But this was different. For the first time since he'd met her, Solene looked genuinely afraid. And Julian realized something that hadn't occurred to him until that moment. Whatever she had escaped 6 years ago had finally found her. The phone remained on the marble floor. Employees walked around it without noticing. Someone apologized after almost stepping on it. Solene didn't hear them. Her eyes remained fixed on nothing. The voice had lasted only a few seconds. No threats. No shouting. No demands. Just 6 quiet words. We finally know where you are. For most people, this sentence meant very little. For Solene, it opened a door she had spent 6 years trying to keep closed. Julian crossed the lobby in less than 10 seconds. He had seen panic before. Markets crashing. Board members resigning. Police entering conference rooms with warrants. This wasn't panic. This was recognition. He stopped a few feet away. Solene. She didn't answer. Her breathing had become shallow. She looked like someone standing in 2 different moments at once. One in the lobby. The other somewhere she desperately wished to forget. Julian bent down, picked up her phone, and quietly placed it in her hand. You don't have to tell me anything. Those were the first words that reached her. Not questions. Not demands. Not curiosity. The mission. It was almost a whisper. Julian shook his head. You have nothing to apologize for. That afternoon, she asked for permission to leave early. It was the first time in 3 years. Frank, the security guard, noticed immediately. You feeling all right? She forced a smile. Just tired. He nodded. Get some rest. She thanked him and walked toward the parking lot. She never noticed the gray sedan waiting across the street. Follow, like, comment, and subscribe to our page for the concluding part of this episode.